Another very serious story to discuss tonight. Idaho, one of 13 states with a near total abortion ban, and their Republican-led state legislature is now doubling down. The Idaho State House advanced a bill banning so-called abortion trafficking. The bill could make it a felony to help a minor leave the state to access abortion care without parental consent. The bill is expected to pass the state Senate and will likely be signed into law by Republican Governor Brad Little. Minority Leader of the Idaho legislature, Democrat Ilana Rubel, joins me now. Help us understand, thank you for joining us, what is at stake with this bill?
It is really disturbing. Idaho has such an extreme abortion ban in effect right now. There is barely a life of the woman exception. It's extremely difficult to even fall under any. There's no exceptions, actually. They're treated as affirmative defenses. You're treated as a doctor is treated as guilty unless proven innocent and faces 5 years in prison for performing an abortion, even where a woman's health is at stake in all of these circumstances. And now we've got a real problem in that one of our big hospitals just shut down all maternity services. We've lost a third of the state's fetal maternal medicine specialists, and about half of our OBGYNs are currently looking at either early retirement or leaving the state. And rather than fix it in the face of this, they want to make it a felony to help minors leave the state for an abortion.
So you said there's virtually no exceptions. Help me understand the debate process. Like, there are no provisions for, let's say, minors who are victims of rape or incest?
Well, currently it's very difficult. And again, the way our law is crafted, there actually are no exceptions currently whatsoever. Everybody who performs an abortion is considered guilty until proven innocent. So it's framed more of as an affirmative defense where you get charged with the crime and then it's on you to try to prove there was rape or incest or something, or, you know, the woman was going to die. And there has to be basically certainty of death. Under our law, you know, hemorrhaging, permanent infertility, paralysis, loss of body organs, none of that suffices. Even a 50-50 chance of death doesn't suffice. You have to basically show certainty of death. You know, those are pretty much the affirmative defenses that you're currently permitted. But this law actually also would have no exceptions to, again, it would be an affirmative defense. If you transport a minor out of state, you would be charged with a felony, and then you'd be presumed guilty until proven innocent. And there is no rape exception, no incest exception, no medical emergency exception.
Let's go back to the other thing you mentioned, doctors retiring. And the only hospital in rural Sandpoint, Idaho, recently said they're done delivering babies, in part because of the political climate. Do your Republican colleagues in the House have any plans to address that? I'm pretty sure people in Iowa are going to keep getting pregnant.
It's a huge problem. I think they're feeling some heat. Yeah, they are feeling some heat because it has been all over our headlines out here that doctors are fleeing the state. They are unable to recruit doctors to come here. And again, you know, a major hospital just shut down maternity services. Unfortunately, their response is, they just brought it through today, is this purported fix of a bill that fixes just about nothing. It doesn't provide health of the mother exception. It doesn't expand on the life exception. The only thing it does is it flips the presumption of guilt. It presumes doctors then innocent until proven guilty instead of presuming guilty instead of having to prove innocence. But it still exposes them to 5 years of prison, permanent loss of their license, and doctors are saying, you know, we're used to practicing under a threat of, you know, malpractice litigation and things like that and civil exposure, but they are not used to practicing under a cloud of 5 years in prison for doing their job. And it's just, what doctor would want to practice in a state like that when they could practice in a reasonable state that doesn't expose them to extensive prison time?
Thank you for joining us. Very, very important story happening in Idaho right now.